Hello and welcome to Wilson's World Afcon Daily, episode 6. As you can see, I've been banished to the kitchen for this one as the celebrations go on. I hope you've had a very good Christmas wherever you are. Day 5 of the Cup of Nations action was one that saw very few goals, but a controversial win for Egypt. And we saw Mali fighting back to draw against the hosts and favourites, Morocco. Egypt against South Africa was again a real needle, from which I don't think either side really emerged with a huge amount of credit. Egypt won 1-0 thanks to Mohamed Salah's first half penalty. The penalty awarded for a flailing arm but caught him in the face. Not a huge amount in it, and Hugo Bruce was, I think, understandably quite frustrated that that had been given. Mohamed Hani then sent off for Egypt just before half time. First yellow was maybe a bit harsh, a little tug on the arm, but the second one absolutely guaranteed a booking, a really stupid challenge to make when he was already on a yellow. Egypt then defended well, and with the usual shenanigans to slow the game down. South Africa, pretty frustrating the way they failed to create anything as Egypt won 1-0. The other game in that group between Angola and Zimbabwe finished 1-1. Knowledge Musona's goal on the stroke of half time, cancelling out Gelson Dala's well taken opener. So that group now stands with Egypt on 6 points and guaranteed to go through, South Africa on 3, Angola and Zimbabwe on 1. So Egypt through, and any of the other 3 could go through. Mali I was pretty critical of after their draw in Zambia first up, but they're much better here against Morocco. They went behind to penalty, they equalised through a penalty. Pretty ill-tempered game. I think real disappointment for the hosts how little they created, although Mali defensively are pretty sound. Then the other game in that group, Comoros had probably marginally the better of a 0-0 draw against Zambia. So that group now stands really tight. Morocco on 4 points, Mali on 2, Zambia on 2, and Comoros on 1. There's no doubt about the big game on the 27th as Senegal take on DR Congo at 3 p.m. UK time. Senegal won their opening game 3-0, looked very impressive, but that was only against Botswana, who are the lowest ranked team in the competition. DR Congo beat Benin, but only 1-0. It really should have been more. They played pretty well in that game until it got into the box. That's what's been their problem recently, a lack of firepower with Yohan Wissa not recovering from his knee injury in time to make the squad. These sides met in World Cup qualifying. They drew 1-1 in Senegal. In Kinshasa, DRC were 2-0 up after 35 minutes, but ended up conceding 3 to lose that game, which is what forced them into the playoffs. They're 2 good teams, 2 excellent midfields. Fascinating to see how they match up. Although they're both going to go through with that win they've already got, and it's really only important to see who wins the group and gets to stay in Tangier through the knockouts. The other game in that group sees Benin looking to get the win they need against Botswana that would all but ensure their passage. That game is at 12:30 UK time. Then later in the day in Group C, first of all 5:30, you got the big East African derby between Uganda and Tanzania. Both of them lost their openers, but both I think were pretty obviously focused on this game, not just for reasons of parochial pride, but because the winner almost certainly would go through, even if only as the best third place team. And the day concludes with the 8 p.m. kickoff UK time as Nigeria face Tunisia in Fez. Both won their opening games, both almost certain to go through, but Nigeria showed a lot of their familiar neuroses. They let in a goal from nowhere in a game they seemed to be controlling, and they needed a brilliant Ademola Lookman strike to get them the 3 points against Tanzania. Tunisia were probably the least fancied of the 4 North African entrants, but Elias Ashuri scored twice, and they look very good going forward against an admittedly underpowered Uganda. So do enjoy that. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.